I should have known something was wrong the moment the laughter died too quickly. 1 second, the living room glowed with warm Christmas lights, cinnamon candles, and the kind of soft chatter that makes you believe, just for a moment, that family can save you. The next second, an eerie silence fell, thick enough that even the twinkling lights seemed to dim. My sister, Miriam, stood up slowly from the long dining table, her chair scraping the floor like a warning. Her eyes were fixed on me with a strange, deliberate calm, like she had rehearsed this moment in the mirror all morning. And then she said it, the words that cracked the holiday open like a wound. "We voted, and we cut you off." For a moment, I thought she meant it as a joke. My lips even parted, ready to force a laugh. But everyone was looking at me. No one laughing, no one smiling. Just watching. Even the children had fallen still, as if someone had pressed pause on all of them. "Cut me off," I finally whispered. Miriam folded her arms, lifting her chin with a holier-than-thou confidence I'd seen hundreds of times, ever since we were children, and she learned people listened to her voice more than mine. "Yes," she replied, sharp and smooth. "We agreed it's time. You're toxic, Ayesha. And this family doesn't need chaos anymore." My mother looked away. My father exhaled heavily. My youngest brother shifted uncomfortably in his seat. It felt like the room tilted, like the walls pushed me toward the edge of something I hadn't prepared for. I wanted to ask what I had done. I wanted to plead. I wanted to justify my existence, explain my exhaustion, my job loss, my broken marriage, my struggle to hold myself together these last 2 years, but the words jammed in my throat. Because deep down, I understood something. This wasn't about this Christmas. They had been building toward this for a long, long time, and I had been too tired to see it coming. 2 years earlier, I left my husband, Raza, finally gathering enough courage to walk away from a man who loved control more than he ever loved me. It was the kind of marriage that looked perfect from the outside and felt like drowning on the inside. He'd chip away at me quietly. "Who would hire someone like you? You're too sensitive. Stop embarrassing me." By the time I packed my bags, I wasn't even sure who I was. But I believed, maybe foolishly, that my family would be my rescue. That they would hold me, shelter me, guide me back to myself. Instead, they pitied me. Pity is colder than hatred. Pity sees your struggle and still decides you're not worth the effort of understanding. I had lost my job not long after the divorce. My mental health crashed. Bills piled up. I tried freelancing, tried applying everywhere, tried staying hopeful, but my family only ever saw the mess, not the effort. I could see the judgment each time I walked into a room. Miriam especially thrived on whispering updates about me. "She's still jobless. She looks tired. She should have stayed married. At least she wouldn't be such a burden." But I survived. Barely, but I did. And I walked into this Christmas gathering believing, hoping, it would be a reset. I was wrong. Now, staring at my family, all I could feel was the crushing weight of their shared decision. "Why?" I finally asked, my voice cracking. Miriam smirked. "Do you want the list?" "No, Miriam," my father muttered. "This isn't." "No, she should hear it," my sister insisted, cutting him off like she always did. "Number 1, you bring drama everywhere you go. Number 2, you depend on us too much. Number 3, you drain the energy of this family. And number 4, she leaned forward, her voice dangerously soft, you never take responsibility for your life." My chest tightened. "I never asked any of you for money. Not once." "Money isn't the only way someone drains a family," she snapped. Mother finally spoke. "Beta, we just want you to focus on your life and stop involving us in every problem." Every problem. As if I wasn't drowning alone. As if every breath wasn't a battle I was already fighting in silence. "I'm not involving anyone," I whispered. "I just show up because you all are my family." "Well," Miriam said, with a kind of false gentleness that hides a knife, "not anymore." Something inside me cracked, not loudly, not visibly, but quietly like a bone breaking deep beneath the skin. Everyone went still again, waiting for me to cry, beg, argue. lash out, something to prove that their decision was justified. I didn't give them the satisfaction. Instead, I stood up slowly, the chair legs trembling against the floor. My hand brushed the table, grazing the edge of a plate, the warmth of the tea mug I wouldn't finish, the embroidered tablecloth my mother only used on special occasions. I forced myself to meet Miriam's cold stare.
"Thank you," I said.
Her confidence flickered for a split second. For what? For showing me where I actually stand. I turned toward the door, my heart pounding so violently it felt like it might bruise my ribs. My coat hung by the entrance, still cold from earlier. When I reached for it, my hands were shaking, not from fear, not from humiliation, but from something unfamiliar. A beginning. A shift. Something rising inside me like wildfire. I opened the door. But just as I stepped out, my brother's voice rang out behind me. "Ayesha, wait." I froze. Every head whipped toward him. His face was pale, conflicted, eyes darting between me and Miriam. He looked like someone holding a secret inside, so big it was choking him. "I need to tell you something," he said, voice trembling. "Something all of them have been hiding from you." My heart stopped. Miriam's face turned dark. "Don't you dare." But he didn't listen. "It's about why they really want to cut you off." And before I could breathe, he said words that shattered everything I thought I knew about my family. "They've been meeting with Raza behind your back." For a moment, the entire world seemed to tilt, like the air had sucked itself out of the room, leaving only silence and shock behind. My brother, Denial, stood rooted to the floor, his chest rising and falling too fast, as if the confession had carved its way out of him. Behind him, Miriam's face twisted with fury. My mother's hand shot to her chest. My father muttered, "Ya kia cardia tum," but I only heard the echo of his words repeating in my head. "They've been meeting with Raza, behind your back." I turned slowly, my hand still gripping the doorknob, the cold metal biting into my palm. "What did you say?" Denial swallowed, his Adam's apple trembling. "I'm sorry, Ayesha, but they've been talking to him. For months." Miriam's voice cut through the air like a blade. "Denial, not here?" "No," he snapped, surprising everyone. "She deserves the truth. She should have known a long time ago." My heart thudded, so hard it drowned out everything else. I could barely breathe. I felt like someone had emptied a bucket of ice over me. Shock, disbelief, and betrayal hitting all at once.
"Raza."
The man who had belittled me, manipulated me, broken me silently, piece by piece. Why? My voice sounded foreign, distant, almost childlike. "Why would any of you speak to him?" My mother kept her head down. My father avoided looking at me. But Miriam, always bold, always cruel, lifted her chin defiantly. "Because he's your husband," she said. Or was. "And marriages don't just end because one person has emotional mood swings." Heat burned behind my eyes. "Mood swings?" I whispered. "Is that what he told you?" Miriam scoffed. "He told us everything. How unstable you were. How you never appreciated him. How you created scenes. How you refused to work on the marriage. He said he tried, Ayesha. He cried in front of us." A bitter laugh escaped me, sharp, painful. Raza crying? If only they had seen the version of him that emerged behind closed doors. The one who toyed with my insecurities like a cat with a wounded bird. The one who kept his voice calm while his words sliced through me. The one who made me question my sanity every single day. "He manipulated all of you," I said quietly, "just like he manipulated me." But Miriam stepped closer, her heels clicking against the tiled floor. "Or maybe," she said softly, "he was right about you." Denial flinched. My father's jaw clenched. My mother turned completely away. My stomach twisted. "So what?" I asked, the exhaustion in my voice deepening. "You all believed him? Without asking me? Without hearing my side?" "Your side was always emotional," Miriam replied coldly. His was logical. The cruelty of that sentence cut deeper than anything she had said before. Emotional because I cried. Emotional because I broke. Emotional because I dared to feel. As if feelings made me less credible. As if suffering disqualified me from being believed. When did this start? I asked Denial, unable to look away from him. His eyes flickered with guilt. A few months after you left him. He reached out to Abu first, then Ami. Then Miriam. They had a few meetings. Then regular calls. Sometimes they invited him over, privately. My breath hitched. Invited him. Over. To my childhood home. Where I came to heal. Where I thought I was safe. The betrayal stung so fiercely that my knees almost gave out. And you? I asked softly. Did you talk to him too? Denial shook his head firmly.
No.
I couldn't. I knew what he was doing. And I knew what you went through. But they told me to keep quiet. They said it was for your own good. The words made me dizzy. My own family. Behind my back. Aligning with the man who destroyed me. Miriam crossed her arms. We just wanted to help you get back together. Raza said he'd take you back if you changed a few things. Changed? I repeated, my voice trembling with rage I had never known. He wanted me obedient. Silent. Broken. He said you exaggerated, she replied. And you believed him? Miriam's eyes hardened. He was more convincing. A cold silence settled over us, thick, suffocating. Finally, Abu spoke, his voice low, ashamed. Galat thea lekin. No, I stepped forward, tears burning down my cheeks. There is no but in this, Abu. You trusted him over me. Your daughter. Ami whispered, Beta, we didn't want to lose the family reputation. That sentence shattered whatever remained inside me. Reputation. Reputation mattered more than my pain. More than my safety. More than my truth. Is that why you cut me off? I asked. Because he told you to? Miriam didn't deny it. Instead, she smiled with triumph.
Yes.
He said distancing yourself would force you to realize your mistakes. That you'd come back to him once you understood how much we all agreed with him. My blood ran cold. So this wasn't a vote, I said. It was an arrangement. As soon as the words left my mouth, I saw it. The flicker in my mother's eyes. The twitch in my father's shoulders. The way Miriam stiffened. Denial turned away. None of them could deny it. I felt something shift in me then, something powerful, sharp, and rising. Not anger. Not sadness. Clarity. You all sided with him, I whispered. But you know what? That tells me everything I needed to know. About him. And about every single one of you. I stepped fully out the door. But before I could close it behind me, Denial rushed forward. Ayesha, wait. He grabbed my arm gently. There's more. Something worse. Miriam paled. Denial, stop. But he continued, breath shaking, eyes filled with fear. He didn't just come here to talk, he said. He came with a plan. My heartbeat quickened. What plan? Denial looked at me desperately. He asked the family to help him get something from you. Something important. Something he wants control over again. My chest tightened. What does he want? Denial exhaled shakily. He wants your job offer. The new one you haven't told anyone about yet. And he's been trying to convince Ami and Abu to pressure you into rejecting it. My blood ran cold. How does he even know about it? I whispered. Denial's expression grew heavy. Because someone told him. Silence. Then slowly he raised his hand and pointed, not at Abu, not at Ami, but directly at Miriam. For a heartbeat, nobody moved. Denial's trembling hand remained lifted, pointed like an accusation carved from bone and truth. The room seemed to warp around us, lights trembling, shadows widening, breaths stalling midair. Miriam's face froze first in disbelief, then curdled into rage, so sharp it could slice. How dare you, she hissed at him. You're lying. But Denial didn't lower his hand. No, he said, voice unwavering now. I'm done lying for you. You told Raza about Ayesha's new job offer.
You told him the salary.
The benefits. The relocation package. You told him everything. A shocking wave of nausea rolled through me. How did you even know about it? I whispered. Miriam's jaw tightened. I overheard you and Ami talking last week. I didn't tell Ami anything, I said. Ami flinched. Beta, she forced me to tell her. She said she needed to protect you. A sound, half laugh, half sob, escaped me. Protect me. That word tasted like poison. Miriam stepped forward, face flushed, words striking with venom. You weren't thinking clearly. You never think clearly. Moving away. Leaving us? Leaving your responsibilities? It's reckless. And Raza agreed with me. You and Raza, I said softly, have been more united than my own family.
She didn't deny it.
Instead, she shrugged. He's the only one who truly wants what's best for you. A chill wrapped around my spine. What he wants is control. Miriam scoffed. You call it control. I call it stability. You were a mess without him. And now you think one job offer magically fixes everything. My pulse hammered against my ribs. The betrayal felt like 1,000 needles beneath my skin. So you told him, I said quietly. And what did you expect him to do with that information? She hesitated, but only for a fraction of a second. Denial filled the silence. He wants her back under his roof. Under his rules. He told Abu he'd forgive her if she agreed to give up the job and move in again. A gasp escaped Ami. Abu buried his face in his hands. Miriam's eyes snapped to denial. Stop exaggerating. He said it right in this living room. Denial shouted. Don't pretend he didn't. He said she needed discipline and direction. He said she wasn't capable of living alone. He even said her dreams were interferences he could fix. My throat tightened. Every word confirmed the truth I had been running from. Raza didn't want a wife, he wanted ownership. And Miriam had become his accomplice. I drew a deep breath, feeling something inside me settle, like a flame choosing its shape. This ends now, I said. Miriam's mouth curled. You can't just walk out of family decisions, Ayesha. Watch me. I stepped fully into the room again. Not to stay, but to stand in the center of the wreckage and reclaim myself. You all made decisions about me, I said, voice shaking with restrained fire. But this time, I'm making one about all of you. Their eyes widened. For years, I tried to please you. I shrank myself to fit into your expectations. I swallowed my pain so you could pretend we were a perfect family. I let you minimize my trauma because you were uncomfortable hearing it. Tears blurred my vision, but I kept going. You chose Raza's lies over my truth. You judged my struggles without understanding them. You cut me off not because I was a burden, but because I was inconvenient. Miriam took a step toward me. Oh, please. You're being dramatic. No, I said, lifting my hand to stop her. For once, I'm being honest. She froze. A deep, trembling silence filled the room. I'm leaving, I said finally. Not because you voted. Not because you cut me off. But because I choose myself now. Ami's voice cracked. Beta, don't say that. You had every chance to choose me, I whispered. And every time, you chose him instead. My father lifted his head, eyes rimmed with regret. Ayesha, hum esi galti hui. Bohut badi galti. Yes, I said gently. But apologies can't undo patterns. And I've lived a lifetime of feeling small in this house. Ami covered her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. Please don't go like this. But I knew, finally, that staying would be another slow death. And I was done dying quietly. I turned to leave. But before I reached the door again, Denial caught up to me. Ayesha, wait. He looked desperate. Broken. Afraid to lose the only person who had ever truly understood him. I don't want you to go alone, he said. At least let me walk you out. For a moment, I just stared at him. This brother who had chosen truth over loyalty, who had broken the silence even when it cost him everything. I nodded. We stepped out into the cold night. Snowflakes drifted lazily from the sky, touching my skin with icy softness. I inhaled the crisp air. It felt like freedom slipping into my lungs. We walked toward my car in silence until Denial whispered, I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. I placed a hand on his arm. Thank you for telling me at all. It took courage.
He swallowed hard.
Are you really leaving? For good. I looked back at the house. The walls that once felt like sanctuary now felt like strangers. Yes, I said softly. For good. And the job offer? I'm accepting it. His eyes lit with relief. Good. You deserve that new beginning. A quiet beat passed. Then he stepped closer. If you need anything at all, you can call me. I'm done choosing silence. Warmth touched my chest for the first time that night. I know. I unlocked my car, but before getting in, I asked, Denial, what will you do now? He exhaled shakily. I'll deal with whatever comes. But I won't betray you again. A small, sad smile touched my lips. That's all I needed. He stepped back as I got in. I rolled the window down. The cold air washed over me, but it no longer stung. Take care of yourself, he said. I will, I replied. Finally. And then, as I began to drive away, he called out, Ayesha. I stopped. He took a deep breath and said words that made my chest tighten with a bittersweet ache. One day, they'll realize they didn't cut you off. They set you free. I nodded, letting the truth sink deep into my bones. Because for the first time in years, I wasn't running from something. I was walking toward myself, toward a future that was finally mine.